Hi everyone, good morning. Hope you are doing well. So today I'd like to share with you 7 reasons why international students become illegal. So those are the 7 reasons I'd like to explain to you one by one. So if you are in the UK as an international student, so this video is for you. Or if you'd like to study in future in the UK, so this is gonna be a piece of video that's gonna help a lot. So before explaining these 7 reasons, I'd like to request you to hit the share button so that everyone can watch it. Just smash the share button. So other international students they got to watch this video. So there are only 7 reasons I'm gonna mention right now is why international students become illegal in the UK. So number one is greed, and you understand what I mean by that. So there are few students, I'm not saying all, there are only few students who become so greedy. And once they pass the immigration to from Heathrow Airport or Gatwick or somewhere else, they uh, never ever go to the college. They don't enroll themselves, and they straight go to the work, probably in a restaurant or somewhere else in a countryside. The home office can't find them, and they never ever contact with the university or college, and university deport them to the home office, and um, their visa has been become curtailed, and this is how they become illegal. So the first one is greed. So if you had me right and understood, please type in the chat box greed. So that's the first reason I would say students became illegal in the UK. The second reason I'd like to say is uh, they couldn't afford the tuition fees to pay in time, within the time frame. For example, most of the students, they come to study in the UK just putting the deposit money. I did the same thing. I paid £3,000 and I flew to the UK, right? So the next challenge is they have to pay the tuition fees in installment within the time frame. So some of the students somehow they managed it, and some of the students they couldn't manage it. And once they couldn't manage it, so then universities start making some sort of problem. Sending a lot of letters, threatening letters that you got to pay the tuition fees, otherwise you're gonna cancel your enrollment or something else, and we're gonna deport to the home office. Dear students, if you are in the UK, as an international student, make sure you pay your tuition fees on time. So don't make angry the university because they gave you the sponsorship. They are your sponsor. So if they are uh, really, really upset with you, you are in trouble. So second number one is greed. Second number two is couldn't afford the tuition fees within the time frame. So in that case, I would say that happened to my life as well. I couldn't afford the tuition fees, so I borrowed some money. I paid, and once I jumped into the post-study work, worked full time, and I just pay them back whatever I borrowed from them. The third reason is weak in English. This is another reason I would say you need to consider is weakness in English. So what's going to happen is if you are really, really weak in English is number one is you will not understand your lecturer, and you will not be able to answer in your exam paper. You won't be able to finish your assignment on time, or you won't be able to pass your assignment. So if you're really, really weak in English, I would recommend you still, if you are having given YTC, Duolingo, whatever it's called, you got to consider to improve English level for a study purpose. And second reason is, I would say, about the work. So if you haven't got good comment in English, especially speaking English, so you will be struggling a lot to find a better job. And in the long run, probably promotion, pay rise, and other things, probably become a manager and apply for the sponsorship to get settled in the UK, right? So these are the things. So if you're really, really weak in English, regarding your work and study, you will stay behind. So that's why we are trying to help you. All you need to do is you need to um, just this is the service we are giving you free, because we understand this is very, very important for international students. So IELTS, I would say, if you haven't done IELTS, if you have done YTC or Duolingo, still I would recommend you to go through the IELTS course. go through speaking, reading, listening, and writing, and that's going to help you a lot to improve your English. So I'm going to give you a link here. So if you're watching me, can you please type in the chat box www.freeielts.online. I repeat, www.freeielts.online. So if you go this um, link, so you will find complete class is 40 classes over there, and the instructors are very, very professional. They have got 8 and 8.5 in IELTS, and they have helped over thousands of students getting a better score in IELTS exam, right? So and some of them have got over 12 years of experience. So I must recommend you to go to this link. And also, can you please type in the chat box is www.freeielts.online. So once you go there, you will see enroll now. You need to enroll, and once you enroll yourself, you're gonna create a login and password. It's completely free. You don't have to pay even a single penny. And once you go through the classes one by one, and your English will be in another level. So I repeat. So I have explained to you 3 reasons. Number 1 is greed. Number 2, can't afford the tuition fees within the time frame. And number 3 is weakness in English. Number 4 is cultural shock, and this is huge, I would say. So I mean, if you are living in Bangladesh, India, and Pakistan, and when I say wine, right? When I say wine, so or some sort of alcohol, right? And probably you'll never find in an open shop in Bangladesh, right? But in this country, in the UK, if you go to the grocery shop, you'll see a lot of, wine bottles over there. If you'd like to buy them, you can buy them easily. It's cheap, like 5, 7 pounds, 10 pounds. You can buy a bottle of wine, and just they're gonna ask you the ID check. I mean, are you over 18 or not? So you can buy online, wine easily, and you can drink as well. So there are a lot of people, I mean, they get lots of freedom in the UK because they don't have parents here. And especially I would mention the undergraduate student, right? So at the age of 18, 19, 20 is, the full of blood, energetic. And these sort of people, what they do is they just let me get it silent because I'm only in the office. It's still stuff is not yet. Um, so I'm not sure why someone's phone is ringing. Okay, whatever. So that's why what they do, they hang out with a bunch of young people. They start taking, wine, and they drill, and that's why I have seen some of the students. What happened to their life is uh, they hang out with a bunch of wrong guys, and they started drinking. They go to bed late night, and in the morning they cannot wake up. They miss a lot of classes, and this is how they derail from the education as well. So it's the another thing. So cultural shock, right? The cultural difference. So if you're undergraduate student, or even if you're postgraduate student, so make sure that as an international student, you have got so many challenges, right? So if you want to drink a lot, and if you'd like to go uh, night out on Saturday, you can, but I would definitely recommend you finish your course, go to PSW, get settled, and then drink, as much as you can. Not right now as an international student. If you do that, probably you might miss a lot of things from your life, and this is how you become illegal. All right, so this is the 4 things I have considered to share with you. Number 5 is right environment. I'm going to give you some sort of example. So this is very important thing is where do you live in while you are studying. So some of the students, they live in a dormitory. And that's a very good environment. A bunch of students are living there. They have got a study environment as well. They have got different study room as well. Yeah, that's a fantastic place to live in. And if you cannot afford, if you'd like to go for cheaper places, still I would say go with the international students who has got some sort of environment to study there. But if you live in some sort of work professional or only working guys, in that case, probably they will not be able to understand your situation. They'll say, what if you don't go to the university? And what if, I mean, you work some more hours and you make so much money? And this is how you know, you will be influenced by those sort of people. And I would like to give some sort of examples here. I'm not telling that you shouldn't work in Indian restaurant, but just giving a scenario. So there are a lot of Indian restaurants in the UK. Basically, British people, they love to go to the Indian restaurant. They would like to have our curry. So if you are thinking about outside of London or in the countryside, you can go to the university from there. So in that case, you need to live in the restaurant. And what happens is, if you live in the restaurant, is I would say most of the people who work in restaurant, they are not educated that much. They will not understand the scenario of university, study, exam, and assignment. They will not understand. And so they live on their own way. Probably they work till 12 o'clock. And, then they go to their room. I mean, they live in a restaurant on the roof. And plenty of places. If you'd like to make your routine like study and all of this, you can do that. But you will be influenced by those sort of people. They don't have any study, anything. They work, uh, they hang around with other stuff, and they go to bed probably like around 5, 6 o'clock. They sleep till 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and they take lunch, and after that they come to work like 4, 5 o'clock, right? So this is the daily routine of the Indian student. So if you live in there, it's really difficult to against them to make your own routine. And this is not the thing. I mean, you can do. Let's say 10 people are working in a restaurant. Seven of them staying in the restaurant, and one of them is student, and six of them are working. They have got same routine, like going to bed 5 o'clock, waking up at 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock, having shower, have lunch, then jump into work. So if you are living one of them in that environment, it's really difficult to go to bed like 12 o'clock and probably wake up like 7 o'clock, then take your breakfast and go to the university and study, staying in library, and come back to the restaurant and get your dress changed and jumping into work from 5 o'clock. So that's the one examples I have given you. So you should consider that as well. So I have got so many complaints. Students saying, staying in the restaurant that changed my life negatively, and that's why I became illegal, because the routine I used to practice is not the perfect one for the international students, right? So I have shared with you 5 reasons to become illegal in the UK as an international student. Number one is greed. Number two, can't pay the tuition fees in the right time. Number three is weakness in English. Number four is cultural shock, drinking and taking weeds and all that stuff because out of home and you have got too much freedom. And number five is right environment. And number six is proper guidance. So what I mean by proper guidance is I'd like to mention a few examples from my life as well. So this is very important thing. If you ask a question to someone else, first of all, ask yourself that this is the right person to ask the question. Because let's say if you are really, really sick, you don't go to somewhere else to ask what medicine you should take. You go to the doctor, right? It's the same thing. If you would like to ask some sort of advice, go to someone else who are expert in that. For example, if you'd like to think about the investment, go to the investor. They're going to give you the right advice, right? So that's the another thing. So when I came to UK, I stayed in Birmingham in a family, and one of the guests came to his house and he asked me, uh, uh, "Did you come to UK as an international student?" I said, "Yes, I did." And he said, "Oh, which college are you studying?" I said, "It's not a college, it's Birmingham City University." He said, "How much is the tuition fees?" I said, 9,750, and I got 1,000 scholarship. And back in 2010, I was lucky, it was 8,750. He said, "How much you paid?" I said, 3,000. He said, "Don't pay any more money, right? Go to the college, take admission, and work, work, work." And when I had a conversation about another brother, I mean, whose house I was staying, he said, "Don't pay attention to these guys because this is not their fault. They are illiterate. They will give you the advice, whatever they have got in their mind." So he was educated. He was from Dhaka University, and he asked me, never ever leave the university. because once you finish your course, that's gonna give you the opportunity to proceed on. So you should consider in that way. So make sure you ask the ask the guidance to someone else who has gone through this process. I mean, came to here as an international student, have gone through different immigration route, and now got settled in the UK, and they're doing very, very well. Ask advice from them. They will tell you exactly what sort of advice you should have. And I'm giving you another example. So I'm really proud to mention his name. His name is Zahid, and he's a IT guy, IT consultant, senior IT consultant. Probably he's earning six figures income per month. Is it per month? No, per year. So uh, when I had some sort of problems, I always used to ask him a lot of questions, and he was really happy to share with me. And he was also happy to share his experience, what happened to his life, I mean, 10 years before. Now it's 20 years, right? So it's the same thing. So I would definitely ask you to ask yourself whom you should ask for advice. So if he has gone through the whole process and become successful, ask for the advice and take the advice from him and apply it. Don't go to the illiterate people, I mean, who never been to university, never came to in the UK as an international student. And if you do that, you will be in problem. So I have shared with you six reasons why international students become illegal. I think you have got lots of ideas. So if you love this video, please hit the share button, because other people, probably your friends, they need to hear it. And the last thing is agent's influence. I don't like to say isn't. Basically, isn't has got a very good reputation. There are some people in the UK. What they're gonna do? They're gonna do something for with the international students, and they will be benefited out of that. Now I'm gonna give some sort of example. So I don't like to mention some of the names. There are some particular brokers in the UK. So they always try to connect with the international students. What they do, they will send you some sort of, okay, there are three things they take benefit to utilize the international students. Number one, they send you, I mean, international students to the restaurant in different parts of the UK, and they say you're gonna have a staying place, I mean, accommodation, you're gonna have free food, you're gonna have free Wi-Fi, so go there, don't study, right? And some of the students, they become so greedy and they went there. This is how this agent earn some money, because they work as an agent with the restaurant owner, and restaurant owners, they pay some money. The second thing is they will ask you to do some sort of dodgy things. Probably they will say, uh, go to the asylum, and go to the lawyers, and file a case like asylum and da 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 da. And this is how they're gonna take some commission from lawyers because they gave you to the lawyer as a client. And this is how, I mean, without any reasons or without any strong reasons, I mean, you file the case and you become illegal. This is how. Be careful, be aware of these agents because that's going to ruin your life. So hopefully you got lots of videos from this video. So I repeat, what I have shared with you is 7 reasons um, international students became illegal in the UK. Number 1 is greed. Number 2 is couldn't afford pay the tuition fees within time frame. Number 3 is weakness in English. Number 4 is cultural shock. I mean, drinking wine and all that stuff. Number 5 is right environment. Number 6 is proper guidance. Number 7 is an influence. So now probably I will share it in another video what could be the consequence if you become illegal. In a short, Ajash, I'd like to say, if you are thinking to become illegal, or if you know someone has become illegal, basically the person is in jail, and the person is getting is becoming the modern slave. So what I mean by that is, once you become illegal, so everybody wants to use you, and especially, for example, if you go to even most of the employers, they would not give you the job, because if the business owners are caught up from home office, they have to pay 20,000 fine. So that's why most of the employers, if you ask me, would you like to recruit an illegal person? I would say no, definitely not, because I love this £20,000, whatever I got to pay to the Home Office. If I recruit illegal staff, right? Still, there are a lot of Indian students, they do this sort of things, and they also, got fined as well. And in that case, what they're gonna do, they're gonna ask you to work for them. And let's say that minimum wage is £9.50 per hour. They're gonna tell you £4 per hour, £3 per hour, right? So they're gonna say, if you just stay here, we're gonna give you free food, free accommodation, and at the end of the week, we're gonna pay you £100 or £150. So, and that means they will make you such a worker. Probably they're gonna ask you to clean their houses, cutting their grasses, and all that stuff. That's how I heard from the people, I mean, who became illegal. So be aware of that. So just one thing to consider is illegal becoming illegal is not an option. I repeat, becoming an illegal person in the UK is not an option. So investing your time, money, hard work, try to be legal in the UK. So once you finish your course, jump into post-study work, then go for work permit or some other route like business visa and all that stuff. And at the end of this route, you become settled in the UK. And once you get ILR, I mean independent leave to remain, and next year you can apply for British passport. And this is how you got British citizen. Thanks for watching this video. Finally, I'd like to ask you, hit the share button and please comment below if it is beneficial for us. Thank you, and I'd like to talk to you very soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.